And we're back to Silent Hill 3. And yes, at the very, very...
Sorry.
At the very, very end of our last episode, we had a horrible creaking sound, which you could very well imagine coming from that boarded up door.
I prefer to describe it as a bang.
It was a bang and a creak.
It was more bang than creak.
Pushing against the boards nailed in. Yeah.
Let's cut both of the thing and call it a crown.
Back out into the fray, as it were. We've got a hanger and we've got a bulletproof vest, which we've decided not to use since it makes us run slower. And at the minute, Scott's tactic is to run past the enemies and save his ammo.
I think we're possibly going to build up a stock of ammo.
Yeah.
And then use it later, perhaps. Which is not a terrible decision.
No.
It's quite an interesting idea, and will probably work.
We'll see what we can do.
Well, we're going to combine the last thing we picked up with the current puzzle. Always a good idea.
Nicely done.
Yeah, we have to go up and down the ladder ourselves. I'm sure our hand won't clip through the handles.
Yes, doesn't quite.
Oh, it never does it?
As well. Oh, it does in some of the modern games that I've seen, but yeah.
Tomb Raider 2013 doesn't manage it.
No. So we're in another part of the mall, which feels a bit less dangerous.
And quite familiar.
I like how they got that in there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you mean about this being much more a 1 and then 3, as opposed to sort of every single standalone one. So it's very interesting.
That bit of text there where she examines the corpse, I often read that in my head in Captain Kirk's voice. I probably shouldn't.
You got a walnut. For
very
some
useful.
Reason. This is
oh,
where
how
the
we
walnut
remember.
Used to be.
I quite like the comment if she examines the case in front of her. I don't know if we're going to get that. Was she going to pilfer it? Sassy.
We've got monster noises. But nothing immediately next to us.
Very loud, the monster music.
It's strange sometimes, some of the textures they've got there. Oh, we missed a door there on the left.
I don't think we could get away with coming here without the torch, actually, could we?
No, it seems too dark. Some of the textures that they've got aren't very high res. The notice boards ones, or if you stopped and took the time to zoom in, you should be able to read them, but they're not really high res enough.
To be fair, that was the sort of thing that the HD collection was supposed to try and fix and kind of didn't.
Kind of didn't.
So, despite the fact that these textures are PS2 resolution textures, and bear in mind the texture resolution of the game goes up very, very high, but the actual textures themselves sometimes aren't up to snuff.
Yes. It's very sleuth-like monster. So I think one of the doors there was locked, was that right? It's where there isn't a squiggly line.
Yes, where there's the solid block.
Yes, so we've got a locked door and a locked door by the looks of it, unless he just hasn't activated those two doors. And then other than that, there's going back out and continuing down this corridor.
No, you get the arrows if you can go through it. So those are locked. Yes, I was going to say that despite the HD collection was supposed to fix all this, the HD collection was Well, it had more things missing, more things broken actually than the PC version did. So, oh god, don't do that.
Yes, we can fall down those.
And it will just kill you. It's quite mean. I don't think you can in easy. I think in easy you can't actually fall down. I'm sure someone will correct me on that if I'm wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure you can't.
Yes, so this is sort of our attempt at making a HD collection, and to be honest, we've probably done better than the guys who actually made the game, just by fixing things in post and running the PC version, which they should have probably used as a starting point rather than the PS2 version.
Oh god, how ominous sounding. There's nothing actually in here, it just sounds ominous. Well, I say there's nothing actually in here.
There is that.
So it is clearly a dog dressed up with salad and veg.
Yeah, it looks
dinner.
like it's having a rough time.
We have specifically a cooked key.
I mean, it's in the doghouse now.
Yes, Peter.
I don't think that Rover's going to return. I've got more.
Okay.
I think it's cooked doggy fashion.
Well, we've still got just a picture behind those windows, which is still not quite that high end of the
Oh,
mansion.
come on.
Yeah, I always notice these things. But I do like how all the items are wonderfully descriptive. He's just waiting out there for you politely, standing there. This is a bathroom. Dirty stalls.
Not much in here. Very labyrinthian, the first location.
It is, yes. Lots to do and to figure out. So I'm assuming it's because of the character, you know, a teenage girl who will go for a man. Got a very strange door that looks entirely out of place.
Hope you can read quick.
Yes, that was a bit skipped through, but...
Well, that's how quick he reads. That's how quick I read when I'm playing as well, actually.
There's doors here as well, but I don't even know if you can go into them.
Well, I think he's been checking his map to make sure you can go through doors or not. So we will get through them all eventually. By a process of elimination. Which I think really is how the games should be played, to an extent.
That's true. So we've got a key, we've got 1, 2 locked doors, something like that. That one's locked, it's not that one. Use the cooked key. Oh, and we're in some sort of... Is this a kitchen?
Well, we'll see when we get to it. There's certainly a bar with you know, a menu behind it, so some sort of cafe, possibly even a restaurant. Got a steel pipe, yo.
Pipe.
Which is a far more useful weapon, and of course doesn't run out of ammunition.
Might be an idea to swap to it. Yes, it says it's a cafe menu on the walls. Cafe. Very dilapidated.
Actually, the variety of weapons in this one is quite interesting because we have quite a few.
Oh yes, so far we've
way.
already picked up 3, whereas in some of the other games it was very frugal with your weapons.
Ah.
Yes, the little tadpoles with legs are almost cute at this point. Sort of like the little babies from 1.
Perhaps it's a throwback.
Yeah. We've got another locked door.
This one we can get into.
This one we can get into. Mostly shelving. Detergent.
Let's not do that simultaneously again.
We can make sure stuff's clean. Oh, it's quiet. If anything, the music seems more of a key than the radio, that there's enemies nearby.
I'd say silence is just another type of sound. But that's bollocks, really, isn't it? It's the absence of sound.
Interesting light effect.
What an
Turn the switch
awesome light effect.
off. Yeah, it's lovely.
It's always best to press switches as soon as you come across them if you don't know what they do. It's a policy I've taken to in life. Star Trek fight music time.
Do 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 do.
Thank you, Maestro.
I figured out what those do.
Yes, it turns the fan back on.
That must do something.
Yes, it turns the fan back on.
It's creepy and dangerous to boot. Yes, it would be dangerous to boot. I know I'm lame. So we need some sort of insecticide, it said there. But we will leave that for next time.